Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at the news from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. We'll spend most of this edition of the program in Los Angeles, California, where for the second straight year, the Freestyle World Cup was held inside the fabulous Forum. The top 8 freestyle teams in the world were at the annual World Dual Meet Championship. Team USA drew into Group A and opened against a Cuban team that featured a number of world medalists. We start at 125. World medalist Yalis Bani locked up a cradle and pinned Tony Ramos late in the second period. And then at 134, Antonio Perez rolled to an 8-1 victory over U.S. Olympic bronze medalist Coleman Scott. Three-time world team member Brent Metcalf turned things around at 143, scoring in the key moments of the match for a 7-2 victory over Franklin Marin.
Here's the thing, I'm going out and I got something to prove too, you know? This is, it's a big deal, but yeah, we go down 2-0, or 0-2, sorry, and we got to get it going again, and we got the horsepower to pick it up here, so hopefully we do our jobs.
Well, the U.S. run continued at 154. It was there. World team member Nick Maribel put his foot on the gas and got his offense going. He scored a 10-0 tech fall over Andy Yon Moreno.
You know, it's first match of the tournament, so it's always good to come out hard and set the tone for the whole tournament. So one thing Sam and I have been working on is my offense, so I've been trying to see things and open it up, and hopefully it continues to open up.
At 163, Olympic and two-time world champ Jordan Burroughs gave the U.S. its first lead of the duel. He hit a 4-point double leg on his way to an impressive 6-2 win over Olympic and world medalist Livan Lopez.
I hit him with a 4 when I was in Mexico wrestling in the Pan Am Championships a couple months back in July of 2014, and so I knew that I could hit him with a double. He's been working a lot to stop that double, but it's a moment that I was happy about, and it definitely changed the complexity of the match. So I was happy, extremely ecstatic that I was able to get that, and it changed the pace of the bout for me.
Well, the wildest match of the entire tournament took place at 89. U.S. World Team member Ed Ruth squared off against two-time world silver medalist Renera Salas. Ruth trailed 7-6 into the first period, but Salas kept scoring and held a 13-6 lead early into the second. But then Ed Ruth went off. He hit a barrage of leg attacks, scoring 16 straight points for a 22-13 victory. Here's Ruth right after the victory.
It feels weird to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm lulling the guy to sleep to the point where, his legs aren't ready to kind of move on a moment's notice. But, that's all I've been practicing, just trying to get my conditioning up, been working out, trying to get my strength up. But, just going off of that match, I still feel like I need to improve everything.
Olympic champion Jake Varner kept the American momentum going at 2:13. He had a nice ankle pick to defeat world medalist Javier Cortina 3-0.
I've wrestled him before. I wrestled him in 2012 before the Olympics, and I beat him then. But so I kind of knew what he had, and I was prepared for it. It's just, I didn't get to my attacks like I wanted to. He kind of stayed at him for the most part. So, but he's a tough guy, a strong guy.
Finishing it off, America's second-ranked heavyweight Zach Ray, here in a solid 3-0 win over Eduardo Mesa.
I felt like I was more active than he was. More movement, more shots. I should have penetrated more, but it's okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be back. There's more wrestling news after this.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level, and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Well, the Saturday night session at the World Cup featured one of the marquee dual meets of the event. Team USA drew world power Russia, a duel that was expected to determine the winner of Pool A. Well, the duel started with a big win from Tony Ramos at 125, a 4-2 victory over Almaksurian.
First period I gave up a little slide by. I felt the guy wearing. He breathing heavy real hard after the first period. Excited to get a win after that first match where, I gave up a big lead. 2 points might not be a big lead, but I felt like he controlled that whole match until that last scramble.
Russia rebounded at 134. Rashid Moltamov scored repeatedly on his way to a 10-1 victory over Coleman Scott. We go to 143. Brent Metcalf kept his hot streak going. He scored a 14-3 tech fall over Ahmed Shakiev.
Brent Metcalf really poured it on there in that match. Talk a little bit about your offensive machine.
Strategy on their part to keep me away, and just a matter of time before you get to him. And then when you get to him, you gotta put him down, because he's really good in that chest lock position, and so that's where I'm in there and I'm not finishing. More urgency, hit, corner. So, good. Gut wrenches on top are huge. Make it, change the match.
Yeah, multiple in a row. You really, did he break at that point?
Well, you feel a guy let up and you take him to the house,
In a tight battle at 154, it was Nick Maribel who was unable to score late in the match and lost a 6-4 heartbreaker to Israel Kutsumov. Jordan Burroughs got the U.S. back on track at 163, dominating every position for a 12-0 tech fall over Shiksamalov. The victory was Burroughs' 100th senior-level freestyle win in just 4.5 seasons on the circuit. Burroughs improved to 102 overall, an amazing 98% win percentage. Here's Jordan Burroughs on the win over Russia and on his 100th win.
Yeah, actually, I follow this type of stuff. So statistically, I kind of know where I stand. And I don't think anyone's ever had this good of a winning percentage over 100 wins. And so I feel good, feel great. And I'm just trying to wrestle to the best of my ability, man. Every time I step out there, I think about creating a legacy. My career doesn't have many years longer, so if I decide to step off the mat in 2016 or go all the way until 2020, I want to make sure all the fans remember me whenever they get a chance to see me live. I know Sargush is back at home watching this, and so Sargush, if you are, I'm training hard, I'm wrestling hard, and I'm ready for a rematch.
Russia then ran off 2 wins and held a 4-3 lead with only 1 match to go. At 189, it was Ed Ruth who was injured in the exchange with Doran Gergiev and was pinned at the 51-second mark. And veteran Yuri Belanovsky followed with a 4-0 upset over Olympic champ Jake Varner at 213. It all came down to 2-time world medalist Travel Delegnev at heavyweight, who drew Arslanbek Aliyev. Delegnev not only had to win the match, but because of the tiebreaker criteria, he needed either a pin or a tech fall in which his opponent did not score. Delegnev led 6-0 at the break when Coach Bruce Burnett told him that he needed to get the tech fall and not allow a point. Well, he went to business. Delegnev went out with confidence, scoring 2 more takedowns for a clutch 10-0 tech. With the win, Team USA won the tiebreaker and outscored the Russians 17-16 in classification points. Here's the big man, Travel Delegnev, after his dramatic win.
I felt really good. I mean, that kid, he's a veteran. He's won a lot of stuff. He's hard to score on. But I knew that I haven't wrestled for a while. I was hungry. I was really excited to be back out there, feeling good. So it was a lot of fun. I just knew that if I kept trying to score, I didn't go out there knowing I was going to attack him, but I knew if I just tried, things might open up.
National freestyle coach Bruce Burnett broke down the win over Russia and talked about the first day of action.
Right down to the wire, you have some expected things, you have some unexpected things happen, and when that takes place, somebody's going to have to rise up. If somebody gets hurt, Somebody makes a mistake and falls down, somebody else has got to stand up and pick it up, and that's what happened tonight. Really, really proud of the team. Everybody competed hard, top to bottom.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, on Sunday morning, the U.S. still needed a win over a tough Mongolian team in order to win Pool A and earn a spot in the gold medal match. What was expected to be a very close battle ended up being a blowout win by the Americans. It started at 125 where Tony Ramos, who had the tiebreaker on his side, secured a 1-1 win over his opponent, Damdin Bazar.
Difficult for either guy to score. Talk a little bit about the challenge wrestling that guy.
You know, he was a good position. Kept knee tricking me. Got to him a few times. Stayed in good position, wrestle hard.
Next up, Olympic medalist Coleman Scott had his best effort of the weekend, scoring in the key moments of the match for an 8-5 win over Batsayan.
Well, I went from the ugliest day I've ever had yesterday. And how do you recoup? How do you come back? You know, I let my team down. We were in that rush to do when we shouldn't have been, in large part because of me. And I hit a knee yesterday. I couldn't tell you what was wrong, but had to redeem myself at least a little bit.
We go to 145. Brent Metcalf just kept winning. He set a relentless pace and wore down two-time world medalist Mandaraknan Gonzarik. 8-2, the final.
I mean, that's a really slippery guy, literally, and just the things that he's good at. So I feel like I probably left some points out there as far as from my point of view, but wrestling smart too, so.
Nick Maribel kept the ball rolling at 154. He scored a solid 4-1 win over the always tough Ankbayar Bachulin.
You know, my offense wasn't opening up too much, and I don't know if it was just because I was being like a day school or conservative, but I got to open up more and score more points because I know I can score on that guy more, and that's one thing that I've been working on, scoring, and I just got to go out there and wrestle harder.
Well, the U.S. clinched Pool A with a win at 163. Jordan Burroughs scored 3 takedowns on the always tough Mongolian Uranbat Purevjov. The score, 6-0.
It was a good match. It's unfortunate that they didn't call more passivity calls against him. I thought I was pressing the pace and creating much of the action for the entire match, but it's how it is sometimes. You know, you can't leave it in the hands of the referee. You just got to go out there and give intensity, and hopefully score as many points as possible.
Filling in for an injured Ed Ruth at 189, Clayton Foster won the tiebreaker and took a 2-2 win against Ushpatar Puravi.
I don't know, I did something dumb, gave up a takedown.
and then just being persistent.
Yeah.
Just working towards getting that takedown, and finally came.
Jake Varner kept the shutout alive at 2:13, scoring a 3-0 win over Kurter Bulga-Jorkin.
Yeah, he's pretty tough, you know, it's a good position, but he really didn't come out and try and do anything, so that's kind of, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. But.
Well, the dual meet ended with an 8th U.S. victory as heavyweight Travel Dolagnev overpowered Chulinbat Jargalsaikan 10-0.
It's just been, it was kind of a tough time mentally getting back into it just because it was a frustrating injury, but, you know, focused on Jesus, how he's helped me, and praise the Lord for bringing me back, and now I'm just having fun, just trying to open up. That's what I was telling myself. He's gonna come hard, he's gonna hand fight hard, he's gonna try to underhook. Just keep, even if you're tired, keep getting under him.
We go to action in Pool B. Defending World Cup champ Iran had a heated 7-1 duel against a tough Azerbaijan team, setting up a finals match against the U.S. That would take place Sunday evening. With more than 4,200 fans jammed inside the Forum during the gold medal round, the atmosphere was electric from the start to finish between USA and Iran. The duel opened with some controversy at 125. That's where world champion Hassan Rahimi held off a late charge by Tony Ramos for a 5-5 criteria victory. Ramos appeared to score additional exposure points during a key sequence, but those points were not awarded. At 134, Olympic medalist Coleman Scott came out strong and held a 7-2 lead into the first against Behnam Isenpour, but the Iranian put together a strong second period and rallied back for a 9-7 win. The U.S. turned it around at 143. It was Brent Metcalf who ground out a 3-1 win over world silver medalist Mahmoud Ismailpour to draw the U.S. within one.
I won, but I got to be able to get to their legs. And he's a smaller guy, so tell you what, the high crotch I hit was a pretty darn good one.
The 2014 junior world champion Hassan Yazdani of Iran scored a first-period takedown to defeat Nick Maribel 3-1 at 154. Maribel nearly scored late in the match but was unable to finish. Team USA got its second win at 163. Olympic champ Jordan Burroughs used his speed and special powers for a dominant 10-0 tech fall win over Morteza Raizeh Ghali.
Well, he's a lefty. I mean, if you guys know me at all, follow my career, Brian Snyder, our head assistant at Nebraska, is a lefty. And so I've wrestled with him a ton and know how to finish on lefty high crotches, lefty head inside singles. And so I was like, man, this is awesome. He's a left leg lead. I'm just going to shoot on this thing all day long. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to finish there.
Iran made the team score 4-2 after a big win at 189. That's where Misa Mustafa Zhukar earned a 10-0 tech fall over Clayton Foster. Looking to clinch the win, Iran sent 2014 world bronze medalist Mohammad Hussein Mohammadian out to face Olympic champ Jake Varner. Well, it looked like the move was working out for Iran as Mohammadian led 3-1 late in the match. But with only seconds remaining, Varner scored a takedown to tie it at 3 and won the bout on criteria.
Yeah, it feels good. Obviously, you know, I don't feel like I wrestled to my best potential, but I left it all out there. You know, you got taken down and that happens, but you know, I know how to score, and you know, I went out there and scored. So.
Well, the U.S. still had a chance to win the duel in the final bout at heavyweight. Filling in for an injured Travel Dolagnev, Zach Ray faced world and Olympic medalist Komil Ghashemi of Iran. Ray led 1-0 after one period, but Ghashemi tied at 1-1, then countered a shot attempt late in the match and spun behind Ray for a takedown to seal the deal. Iran won its fourth straight Freestyle World Cup title, 5 bouts to 3 over Team USA. The second place finish by the U.S. was the team's best in 12 years. Here's national coach Bruce Burnett.
We absolutely had our chances. We let a few matches get away, but right now we're not good enough. We have to get better. We got beaten some basic positions that cost us matches. We can't give up the kind of leads that we did. They all understand that. Our guys wrestled hard, you know. They wrestled as hard as they could. They gave their hearts, but at the same time, we have to be able to fix the problem areas, and we certainly can't get beaten tie-ups, and we have to control the mat position. We had some great efforts out there. I mean, some great efforts from everybody, I think, top to bottom. But we made some pretty basic mistakes that if we make those kind of mistakes at the World Championships, we're in trouble. We just can't do it at this level.
In the third place bout, Azerbaijan took out Russia. The duel ended up deadlocked 4-4, but the Azerbaijanis won by virtue of scoring more classification points. Belarus downed Mongolia 5-3 in the fifth-place bout, and Cuba beat Turkey for seventh. Two Americans went perfect there, 4-0 at the World Cup. It was Brent Metcalf at 145 and the always amazing Jordan Burroughs at 163. Burroughs' career record at the World Cup is now an amazing 19-0. Metcalf was named the Matt.com Wrestler of the Week for his outstanding performance in L.A. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back after this short timeout.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, if you couldn't make it to L.A., there was some great national television coverage of the World Cup. The third-place bout between Azerbaijan and Russia was televised Sunday night by Universal Sports Network. Following that, live coverage of the U.S. versus Iran gold medal duel meet was shown on NBC Sports Network, with play-by-play by Jason Knapp and color commentary by Olympic champ Rulon Gardner. Well, the ratings are in, and the event was a huge success. Over 229,000 viewers on Sunday, an increase of previous USA Wrestling events on the NBC Sports Network, a strong showing for an Olympic sporting event. Next on the schedule, a nationally televised USA Wrestling events, the U.S. Open in Las Vegas. That'll take place May 8th and 9th on both NBC Sports Net and Universal Sports Network. We, of course, will keep you up to date. Well, during the week of the World Cup, the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame announced its induction class of 2015 and its major annual award winners as well. Named as Male Professional Athlete of the Year, 2014 U.S. World Team member Nick Maribel. The Tennessee native won 2 state titles for Christian Brothers High School in Memphis and went on to become a 2-time All-American at the University of Missouri. Last year, Maribel placed 8th at the 2014 World Championships in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, winning the U.S. Open and the Phase 2 World Team Trials as well. Maribel added 2 international gold medals, the Yasser Dagu in Turkey and the Paris Grand Prix in France. At the Yasser Dagu, he became the first athlete to beat world and Olympic champ Jordan Burroughs, snapping a 69-match win streak. Nick talked about the major honor during the World Cup weekend.
Oh, it's definitely great. You know, I don't get to go home that often, but to see all the Tennessee people follow me and still, you know, looking after me and watching my success in some of the tournaments and stuff, you know, it's great, especially in a state that isn't very big in wrestling yet. And hopefully, you know, I can motivate some of the younger generations to go out there and wrestle in Tennessee, and hopefully it gets bigger. You know, maybe some of the colleges there will get some wrestling and stuff too.
Well, the next big event on the international schedule will be the Pan American Championship set for Santiago, Chile, April 24th and 25th. The event has special significance this year as it will be the final qualifying event for the 2015 Pan American Games. That will take place in Toronto, Canada this July. The U.S. still has to qualify for the Pan Am Games in 13 of the 18 Olympic weights. The challenge in Chile, Team USA will have to place in the top 5 in the weight classes that have not yet qualified. In Greco-Roman, past world team members competing in Santiago are Spencer Mango at 130, Joe Rao at 176, Kaylor Williams at 215, and the big man Robbie Smith at 286. While the women's team will be led by Olympian Kelsey Campbell at 128 and past world team members Victoria Anthony at 105 and Veronica Carlson at 152. In men's freestyle, 4 past NCAA champs will be on the roster, including Dustin Slater at 154, Chris Perry at 189, Dustin Kilgore at 213, and Zach Ray at 275. We, of course, will have a full recap of the event on our future episodes. Hey, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week. The pictures are sent in from around the country and are also being considered for the contests in our USA Wrestler magazine and our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's pick was taken by international wrestling photographer Larry Slater, a guy with an eye. He shows Jordan Burroughs after a win during the 2015 Freestyle World Cup in Los Angeles. Great shot, Larry, as always. Have your photographs considered for our USA Wrestling Photo Contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. From all of us here at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and we'll see you next week.